Alright, Duelist of Explosions, showing a fire-based archetype support, this time for another one that needs it, this time on Volcanics. So let's begin. So first off, we're going to start off with a new boss monster, that being Volcanic Emperor. Level 8 Fire Pyro with 3400 attack, 2400 defense, cannot be normal summon set, must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 Pyro monsters or 1 Blaze Accelerator card from face up of your field and or graveyard. And you can only special summon Volcanic Emperor this way once per turn. If you guys don't remember, Volcanic playstyle revolves around using your Volcanic monsters as bullets to burn your opponent. So there will be quite a bit of graveyard effects, and also burning your opponent by blowing stuff up. So just by having the ability to special summon itself from the graveyard is just a nice added feature that this just becomes a discard target because that's the bullet part. And there is Foolish Burial effects as well, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, to the main effects, where when this card is summoned this specific way, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each of your banished Pyro monsters. Then you can set 1 Volcanic Trap directly from your deck. That is not Volcanic Eruption because that's not actually part of the archetype. Yeah, so not only that this could special summon itself from the graveyard and give your opponent a mass burn, it also can give you a +1 by setting a Volcanic Trap, and some of those are pretty good. But it also has a second effect which is pretty annoying. Each time your opponent special summons a monster, inflict 500 points of damage to them. And this is a meta that special summons a lot of monsters, so unless they get rid of this monster first, they're going to be taking a lot of damage. Oh, and by the way, you can special summon monsters to your opponent's side of the field with your own effects. Keep that one in mind. Next, Volcanic Trooper, which is a level 3 Fire Pyro with 1000 attack and defense. Each effects are hard once per turn. The first one being if this card is no more special summon, you can add 1 Volcanic card from your deck except itself, or Volcanic Eruption because like I said, not part of the archetype, from your deck to your hand. Obvious must run of 3 of because it searches pretty much your entire archetype. But it also has a second effect where you can discard 1 card to special summon 1 bomb token to your opponent's side of the field, which is a Pyro Fire level 1 with 1000 attack and defense. When the token is destroyed, the controller takes 500 points of damage. Like I said, you want to be blowing up your opponent's cards, so just forcing your opponent to have a card on the field basically triggers your effects as well. And in addition, the 500 points. Yes, the discard can be a negative to you, but at the same time, you do have good targets to discard, and of course there's graveyard effects. And speaking of using them as bullets, we got Volcanic Rimfire, which is a level 1 Fire Pyro monster with 300 attack, 0 defense, and the effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate one of these effects. Banish this card from your graveyard. If you do, send 1 Volcanic monster from your deck to the graveyard except itself. Or banish 1 Blaze Accelerator card from face up from the field or graveyard. If you do, place 1 Blaze Accelerator continuous spell or trap from your hand or deck face up to your spell or trap zone. Each effect is hard once per turn. So basically do a little play extension by sending more stuff to the graveyard, or set up your main spell or trap, aka your Blaze Accelerators. And just in case that you guys do not know, some of your Blaze Accelerators require you to send one of the other forms of Blaze Accelerators to evolve it. So basically this second section of this effect is basically just another way to make your plays. You obviously run this card. And now to the spells to the new Blaze Accelerator, Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. It's a continuous spell, and you activate it by sending a Blaze Accelerator from your hand, deck, or face up from the field to the graveyard, and it has to be the original form of the Blaze Accelerator. So first off, you can only control 1 of these. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 Volcanic monster from your hand. What's nice is that there's no level restrictions, so it could even be some of your bigger monsters. Finally, once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, send 1 level 1 Pyro monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you do, destroy that target. And here's the part where you use your fire monster as bullets, and why you want your opponent to have monsters on the field. It's so you can blow them up, hence why the special summon token. Overall, not too bad. There are now ways to get out your Blaze Accelerator, so that isn't too much of a condition right there. The fact that you could special summon your big Volcanic monsters without a condition is pretty nice, and the fact that you can send from deck is also a huge improvement to some of your original Blaze Accelerators that need it from hand. So this is a must run. Next, Fire Ejection. It's a normal spell and you can only activate 1 of these per turn. The effect is that you send 1 Pyro monster from your deck to the graveyard, then if it's a Volcanic monster, you apply 1 of these effects. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to its level times 100, or special summon 1 bomb token that is of course level 1 Pyro Fire with 1000 attack and defense to your opponent's field, and if the token is destroyed, the controller takes 500 points of damage. Basically, either Foolish Burial is one of your pieces, or literally give you a blow up target. Either way, this card is just good because it basically makes your plays. The part where you get to Foolish Burial a monster is basically just a search because there's graveyard effects. Volcanic Emperor. So yeah, there's really not much of a reason not to run 3 of these. Finally, our last card, which is a trap, Volcanic Inferno. It's a continuous trap. Both of its effects are hard once per turn. The first one being, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish 1 pyro monster from your graveyard and inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. If it's a pyro, you negate that effect. Gee, a continuous trap that can negate a monster effect per turn. That is pretty good, especially the banish count for your Volcanic Emperor to even burn your opponent even further. But the second effect, where during your opponent's end phase, you can target up to 2 Volcanic monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard and put them in the bottom of the deck in any order. This is so you can Foolish Burial more Volcanics and to blow more stuff up. This is overall not a bad trap. It's continuous, which is also the big part as well. It's a free monster negate practically every single turn, and plus an extra burn and recycling. Yeah, run this at 2 of. So that's it for the new Volcanic cards. What do you guys think of it? Honestly, after a while, it is good to see more archetype support like this one. Volcanics is one of my favorite aesthetic archetypes, but I never built the deck. But I did like the blow up your opponent and burn your opponent playstyle of it. And it's just refreshing to see old legacy support that hasn't been supported for a while. And also, it's nice to see new cool boss monsters, especially if they are new forms of the old ones. But other than that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.